Anachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Asutra Sadashi Srimad Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Asutra Sadashi Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Srila Prabhupada ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayesva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Shinvatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantosya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam. Hare Krishna. We're reading from Canto 4 of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 11. Swayambhuva Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj. And today we are on text 26. Esha Bhutani Bhutatma Bhutesho Bhuta Bhavana Svashaktya Mayaya Yukta Srijatyati Chapati Cha Esha Bhutani Bhutatma Bhuteshu Bhuta Bhavana Svashaktya Mayaya Yukta Srijatyati Chapati Cha Esha Bhutani Bhutatma Bhutesho Bhuta Bhavana Svashaktya Mayaya Yukta Srijatyati Chapati Cha Esha Bhutani Bhutatma Bhutesho Bhuta Bhavana Svashaktya Mayaya Yukta Patipati Cha Esha Bhutani Bhutatma Bhutesho Bhuta Bhavana Shaktya Mayaya Yukta Srijatyati Chapati Cha Esha Bhutati Bhutatma Bhutesho Bhuta Bhavana Svashaktya Mayaya Yukta Srijatyati Chapati Cha Esha Bhutani Bhutatma Bhuteshu Bhuta Bhavana Shakti Atma Yukta Srijatyati Chapati Cha Eshaha. This Bhutani, all created beings, and Pati, maintains, Cha, and. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supersoul of all living entities. He is the controller and maintainer of everyone. Through the agency of His external energy, He creates, maintains, and annihilates everyone. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supersoul of all living entities. He is the controller and maintainer of everyone. Through the agency of His external energy, He creates, maintains, and annihilates everyone. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. There are two kinds of energies in the matter of creation. The Lord creates this material world through his external material energy, whereas the spiritual world is a manifestation of his internal energy. He is always associated with the internal energy, but he is always aloof from the material energy. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 4, the Lord says, Matsthani sarvabhutani na chaham tesh avastitha. All living entities are living on me or on my energy, but I am not everywhere. He is personally always situated in the spiritual world. In the material world also, wherever the Supreme Lord is personally present is to be understood as being the spiritual world. For example, the Lord is worshipped in the temple by pure devotees. The temple is therefore to be understood as being the spiritual world. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Priye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sundhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam param ananda madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Thank you for attending today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I'd like to beg the mercy of the devotees and blessings so that I may be able to serve this verse in the proper mood and spirit of our acharyas. And as we chanted before, Srinvatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. So by regularly chanting these pastimes of Krishna, Srinvatam Svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. You hear this, it's the greatest good fortune. Hridayantosti Abhadrani. It's so potent that you don't have to. We may have heard this pastime many times, and we've been discussing Dhruva Maharaj for many times. But Krishna himself comes inside the heart and he cleans all the abhadras. Hridayantosti Abhadrani Vidhunoti Suritsatam. And your heart becomes cleansed. So we have this is like our daily cleaning session of the heart. So we're going to this pastime of Swayambhuva Manu trying to pacify, who is actually Dhruva Maharaj's grandfather. And Swayambhuva Manu was trying to pacify Dhruva. And why was he trying to pacify Dhruva? Because Dhruva Maharaj displayed anger. And why was he angry? Because his brother, whose name was Uttama, was killed in a hunting accident. And because he was killed in a hunting, it wasn't an accident, he was murdered by a yaksha. And because of this, Dhruva Maharaj wanted to show everybody that he was angry. And why was he concerned with the people that he was angry? Because he said that he was thinking that people may think badly of him. Why? Because Uttama, if we go to the previous chapters, he had gone to the forest, Dhruva Maharaj, how old was he? 5. When he was 5 years old, he had gotten very angry. Why? Because Uttama's mother had said, you are not allowed to sit on your father Uttanapad's throne on his lap without having taken birth through my womb, because she was the favorite wife of Uttanapad. And so he was very angry and he left. So just so there was no funny business, or to say that Dhruva Maharaj still had some negative feelings for his brother, that he caused any of this. He wanted to display this. I shouldn't say wanted to display. He's showing this pastime of displaying anger. And when Dhruva Maharaj returned, as we know, when he returned back from the forest, Maharaj Uttanapad gave him the throne, but he wanted to show that he was really upset by his brother's murder. So this army of yakshas, only one yaksha killed Uttama, but Dhruva Maharaj decided to go. He calls the Naranastra, and a whole army comes for Dhruva. And the yakshas are actually the descendant of Kuvera. And how many came to kill? How many came to fight Dhruva? Anybody know? A lot. 130,000. This is what I've heard. So Dhruva Maharaj kills, just open house slaughters all of them. And Manu, his grandfather, comes, and he's instructing Dhruva Maharaj that your behavior is not fitting of a pure devotee. This is not the right action of what to do. You've been recognized. You've been recognized by great devotees like Narada and Devala and all these great devotees that you're a devotee, but you're not acting like a devotee. And so similarly, Srila Prabhupada said this movement is a movement of, and you see here, the movement is a movement of pure devotees. Prabhupada saying here, for example, the Lord is worshipped in the temple by pure devotees, not just devotees. Prabhupada saying by pure devotees. So it's Dhruva Maharaj is saying his fame is so great, Dhruva Maharaj's, and his brother died, and he's saying, Manu Maharaj is saying, you killed so many. It is actually improper because you have killed so many. So all of us, this is one instruction that we can take actually, is when we are representing ourselves as devotees, and if we've been necessarily recognized as a devotee. Now you can say that, how does it Vaishnava ke, what is a devotee? The residents of Kulinagram come to Puri three times, and 3 times they ask them, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the same question, Vaishnava ke, who is a devotee? And 3 times Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives 3 different answers, basically speaking about the Kanishtha, Madhyama, and Uttama Adhikaris. So, but it is actually, one of the things is, when you're recognized as a devotee, especially when you take initiation, one of the five pancha samskars of diksha, one of them is urdhva pundra, is the tilak that you wear. Is actually, that is one of the defining marks, of course, with mantra and tapa, and I'm forgetting the other two. But urdhva pundra is one of them. Is you externally say, I'm a devotee. When people ask me, what's that paint on, when you're in a Harinama book distribution, what's that paint on your face? And then you can immediately say, I learned you can say that this is a mark of dedication. This is a mark of dedication to my practice. And what this symbolizes is that we put this all over our body in specific places to show that our body is a temple of service to be used in transcendence. And people really appreciate that a lot. So especially when we're a recognized devotee, it is necessary to act like a devotee also. Our devotional action and our devotional disposition shouldn't start and end in the temple room, It's not that we're a temple devotee from 4:30 in the morning till 9 a.m. and then the rest of the time it goes. I was hearing a class by His Grace Mahatma Prabhu, and Mahatma Prabhu was speaking. He has very nice japa seminars, and then so he was saying that how do I get nice my japa, my 16 rounds. And he said, to have good 2 hours of japa, you need to have a controlled 22 hours. So he was saying that if we dedicate our 22 hours, the time that we're not chanting japa, if we dedicate that time in preparation for our japa, if just utilize everything. I think even Indra Prabhu said this, that all of our devotional service that we do throughout the day is meant to support our chanting of the holy names. Like, for example, when we do deity worship, when we do different types of service, maybe we work on the cars or maintenance or so on and so forth. This in Kali Yuga, as we know, Kaler Dhosha Nide Rajan Asti Eko Mahan Gunad Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parambrajit. That in this age of Kali, there are no good qualities. This is clearly there in the Bhagavatam. Kaler dosha nide rajan. Dear king, there's no good quality. But asti eko mahan gunad. There is one good thing. Kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha parambrajit. That by just chanting the names of Krishna, all perfection can be achieved. So we can see that if we want to have a nice relationship with the holy name, especially when we're chanting japa, is we must actually try to fix what are we doing in the 22 hours that we're not chanting japa? At least, like, are we, that's why eating meat, gambling, drinking, and illicit sex are forbidden, at least for somebody who is making that step to that I am a devotee. The reason is that stuff really has powerful samskars or powerful impressions that kind of block your reception to the holy name. So this is very important about how to even act as a devotee. I was just yesterday, I'm just remembering an amazing incident that happened. We were walking out of Hoyt's Kimmerhorn station, and me, Natabar, and Jayananda Prabhu's, and immediately one of the kids, he had a big afro, he said, "Are you guys monks?" And then we're like, "Yeah, we're monks." And he's like, "Do I have to shave my head to become a monk?" And we're like, and then he kept asking us, "Why do you have to shave your head?" And he said, "Oh, but to come to the temple, you don't need to shave your head." This is, as Jayananda nicely put it, it's not exactly like that, but it's something that we do to breed renunciation, to have renunciation. And he's like, "Oh man, that's what it's all about, and that's what I need more in my life, renunciation. I need to get detached." So it's actually quite attractive when they see us quite dedicated to our practice. It takes, sometimes we forget, like especially when I go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's to do some shopping or something, I forget how I'm dressed. I'm dressed like my sister, she's not really a devotee, and she says, you look like a big basketball, like we're just like a pumpkin or a basketball walking around. So when people look at us, they say, wow, this is Vaishnav, this is a devotee. So much so we have to be aware and beware that when we're representing ourselves as Vaishnavas or recognized devotees, we must act like a devotee also. We must act like how a devotee. And what does it mean to act like a devotee? Swayambhuva Manu is telling Dhruva that you must come to the platform at least being a Madhyamadikari. As we learn from Srimad Bhagavatam, Ishvare tadadineshu balisheshu dvishashucha prema maitri kripopeksha yat karoti sa madhyama. So a intermediate, this is from the 11th canto, a intermediate or second class devotee called Madhyamadikari. Let's count the steps. Offers his love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a sincere friend to all the devotees of the Lord, shows mercy to ignorant people who are innocent, and disregards those who are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is what it means to be a Madhyamadikari. So my spiritual master says that when you're on book distribution, and how to not get discouraged is you can use this principle as Ishvare Tadanishu, that we show mercy unto those who are ignorant, but we avoid people who are, disregard those who are envious. And there's a very easy meter to say are they ignorant or are they envious? It's just you put your hand up. Everybody can put their hand up like this. Say hi. And if they wave or if they smile or if they some reaction, like Subhadra Prabhu would probably regret this. He says hi to everybody, and he say hi, how are you? Or like I'm from New York, I'm from this. Where are you from? And if they just walk past you and they're just grumpy and they have their earphones in and then they're not ready. The mango is still green. But if someone stops and says, oh, what are you doing out here? What is this? Or they smile, or this, okay, maybe I'll go and approach them and talk with them a bit. This fair enough? Michael, is that fair enough? I mean, it works, right? So this is a practical way of applying that principle, Ishvare Tadanishu. So after Manu describes the activities of a Vaishnava, Dhruva Maharaj, and I'm just taking you through the chapter, it's still not enough for Dhruva. And so when he sees that Dhruva Maharaj is not satisfied with this, he actually starts describing the energies of Krishna. And I'm quoting from the Subodhini here. And the Subodhini, it's saying that the first thing when Manu Maharaj sees that Dhruva Maharaj is still dissatisfied because of his brother's death, he explained who is actually the killer and who is being killed. And so the first we start, this is from verse 15 and now to the end, 26. He starts speaking about creation, destruction, maintenance. It is Lord, and then now we're coming to, it is the Lord's energies. And he starts speaking about time, kalosmi, how Krishna comes in the form of death. So in the previous 2 verses ago, I think Kishore Gopal Prabhu spoke about this. In verse 24, it says, Supreme Lord is the cause of birth and death. But one interesting thing is, the Lord is not to be blamed. In the 3rd canto, and I'll give you an example of when Krishna is to take the blame for some things. That in the 3rd canto, when the Kuveras, the 4 Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras come to Vaikuntha, they go through 6 gates, and they're stopped at the 7th gate by who? Jai and Vijay. They get stopped and said, what are you, naked kids? Who are you coming in and this is not the way to come to Vaikuntha. And then the Kumaras get angry. He says, you are seeing dvayam. You are seeing difference in the spiritual, in between us. You're making discrimination, and there's no room for discrimination in the spiritual world. And you're getting angry. So we curse you to go to the material to go to the material world. and so on and so forth, and the four Kumaras, then the Acharyas have this big conversation in their commentaries. Who is to blame here for what has happened? Is it the four Kumaras or is it Jay and Vijay? Four Kumaras just walked in. They didn't make an appointment with Narayan, with Vishnu, and to come. And the Jay and Vijay, they shouldn't have stopped pure with devotees. They shouldn't stop sages especially. If you ever see a sage or a muni, just be a little careful, As we learn from Durvasa, things can happen. So, who's to blame? Whose side do we take? Michael, what do you think? Whose side is it? Whose blame is it? Is it the four Kumaras? Or is it Jay and Vijay's? It's the four Kumaras? Okay, we have team four Kumaras. Subhadra Prabhu, who do you think it is? Jay and Vijay. Now I'll give you an explanation that why I'm bringing this up. When Vishnu comes, when Narayan comes, and he says, "Stop! I'll take care of this." He starts explaining his magnificent pastime. He says, "Don't worry, it's my fault. I arranged all of this. I arranged for all this to happen." So the four Kumaras. So it's not. Is it the four Kumaras' fault? Is it Jay Vijay's fault? Maybe, but Krishna is saying, "Oh no, I'm to blame around here." So it's not like you can't say that with this, that Lord is not to be blamed. Why is he not to be blamed? Because he's unaffected by, as we learn in verse 25, he's unaffected by false ego and the material modes. It says, Najyate guna karma bhi. He's not affected. But how does he stay aloof from this, from ego and guna? It's very difficult. How? Through his external energy. And it's kind of like he's responsible, but not responsible. Upadrishta anumanta cha, as we learn in 13th chapter. He's the overseer and the permitter. So the material energy is the external energy, as we learn from the Gita. How many energies are there? Bhumi rapo nalo vayur kammano buddhireva cha ahankara itiyam me bhinnas prakritimastada. So I heard a lecture by Srila Prabhupada. He was saying how to explain this this external energy. It is like the milk of a cow. The cow is there, and then there's the milk. The milk is the separated energy of the cow. So the government has to take care of its citizens, naturally. Like the energy is separated from him. The government has to take care of its citizens. But sometimes the government needs riot police and protection. So sometimes the external energy is kind of like Maya jhapatiya dhare. It is Krishna's energy to give us a nice lesson. So as Srila Prabhupada is quoting here, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshvavasita. So Maya tatam idam sarvam. This whole world is pervaded by me. Avyakta murtina, jagat avyakta murtina. That it is in my unmanifested form. Matsthani sarva bhutani. The world is situated in me, but na chaham teshvavasita. But I am not situated in this world. Very interesting. In the 9th chapter, the first 3 verses are speaking about the glories of pure devotional service. Raja vidya raja goyam pavitram idam uttamam. And it's speaking about this. And then the next, from verse 4 to about 10, I would say, it is speaking about Krishna's inconceivable relationship. Inconceivable means it's not possible to conceive. His relationship with the material world. So we know that as we learn from the 7th chapter of the Gita, Sutre mani gana iva. What's the start of that verse? Pearls on a thread? Sutre mani gana iva. Anyway, well, no extra halwa for anybody. So we know that Krishna mentions in the 7th chapter that everything rests on me like pearls are resting on a thread. Sutre mani gana iva. So all beings are situated in me. How? How is situated in me? He's situated as the super soul. And this refers to, but how is he not situated in them? That he is not, how do you say? This refers to his transcendence. And I like to quote from the Bhagavad Gita. Everybody still okay? Okay? Nobody falling asleep? Let's go, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 12. Ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasascha ye matta eve titan vidhi natvaham teshu te mai. Translation. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they on contrary are within me. And text 13. Tribhir gunamayer bhaver ebi sarvam idam jagat mohitam na bijanati mam ebhya paramavyayam. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. So Krishna is giving this juxtaposition, may seem like an apparent contradiction, that I am not situated in them, but they are in me. Tri guna, I am beyond this. But Krishna is saying here, nobody knows me. But then he directly, apparently, contradicts himself. Somebody does know him. Who knows him? Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan chasmi tatvata. The devotees know me. Why do the devotees know him, but everybody doesn't know him? Because everybody is trying to understand things through their sense perception. But Krishna is saying it is not possible to know me through sense perception. It is possible to know me through devotion. Abhaktya mam abhijanati. Jana iti, they know me. And so much so that the devotees are so great that in the 9th canto it says, Aham bhakta paradhino, hi asvatantra cha, that I am, it's not that, it's Krishna's, it's almost like the materialist is saying that I am the purveyor, I am the controller. Now compare that with the 9th canto, this is the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni is trying to find shelter after he makes an offense to Ambarish Maharaj, and Durvasa Muni is going for shelter to Brahma, to Shiva, to anybody he can find. Nobody. He goes to Vishnu, and Vishnu says something amazing. I'm going to pull up this verse. Aham bhakta paradhino. Aham bhakta paradhino. This is 9:463, if anybody's keeping score. Now Krishna is saying to Vishnu, is telling to the Brahmana, Durvasa. He's saying the Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent. Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires, I sit only within the cores of their heart. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. Even Krishna saying in the first verse of the Bhagavatam, the Swarat, independence. In the 9th canto, Vishnu is saying, I have no independence. I am only dependent on my devotees. And Krishna confirms this in the 10th chapter of the Gita, the Chatur Shloki, that he's saying, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Just break down that sentence. Think about that sentence. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. The devotees are thinking of Krishna. Krishna is thinking of the devotees. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So nice, right? Krishna's thinking about you, and you're thinking about Krishna. This is the nice relationship. And in this way, how can Krishna be not independent because of the devotees? Na paraye ham. There's nothing I can pay to you. Who are the topmost devotees of the Lord? The gopis of Vrindavan. And so Krishna is saying, I can't repay you because you don't want anything material. You don't want, I can only offer myself to you. So this is the beautiful thing. So Krishna, back to the main topic of Krishna is and his material energy. Srila Prabhupada someone asked him, Krishna, I think your Krishna is a very cruel God. And he's explaining that he knows past, present, future, and he's still putting me through all this suffering and all these things that I'm going through. Why? And Srila Prabhupada responded, this is a very stupid question. Like he said, the question is not very intelligent. Why? He says, do you want to be a dead stone without any free will? Because you can't have a relationship through force. You can't, when you are loving something, like if I want somebody to love me, if I want Michael to love me, one easy way of getting him to love me is I can pull out a gun and say, Michael, love me. And what will Michael say? I love you. Yeah, very easy. Yeah, it's very easy to do that. But if we don't have independence, if we don't have free will, if we don't have the free will to make the wrong decisions, then how can we ever make the right decision? So Krishna is giving that free will because he wants that eternal reciprocation of love. He's saying, try as much. Kachon habudubai. You're being, as in that song, Radha Krishna bol bolo re sobai. It's saying, Kachon habudubai. Habudubi is actually a word in Bengali that is an onomatopoeia. What's an onomatopoeia? Anybody knows? Exactly. It's a word that sounds like it's what it's described. So habudubu, it sounds like somebody is like drowning, you know? It's like you're trying to grasp for air. And this. So what is Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying? We're drowning. We're trying to enjoy this material world and we're drowning. We're thinking that the absence of pain is pleasure. But we're trying. Nothing is working. When will we? Radha Krishna bolo re soda. E shikha diya, sabna diya, firche neche gornitai. That when will we just dance and cry and shiver when we just say the names of Gornitai and chant Radha Krishna's names always? So this is the beautiful part, that Krishna is giving us that free will. Krishna is giving us that choice. How much ever limited that choice is, because how much choice do people have even? Have you ever thought of that? We say free will, but everybody's bound by the three modes of material nature. It's an illusion of free, it's kind of like, oh, I can do whatever I want and whenever I want, and there'll be consequences to those things. Like tomorrow, if I don't show up to like my job, like a job or something, yeah, I have free will to not do my job, but my employer also has free will to fire me. So Krishna is, as we are getting to the final aspect of this purport, is Krishna is also manifesting in this world. He's saying, I'm not in this world, but Srila Prabhupada is saying, yes, he is in this world. How is he in this world? He is in this world in the deity. It's not idol worship, as many people proclaim. Many people from the mainstream monotheistic religions claim that the Hindus do idol worship. But Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he says, this is not idol worship, this is ideal worship. Why? Because we're not manufacturing anything from mental speculation. All of the Krishna's forms, Krishna's face, what he is wearing, what he is dressing as, he's holding a flute, his Tribhanga posture, all this is specifically mentioned in Shastra. And this is this is not the idols that are mentioned in the Bible and Quran, which are actually condemned. And so Krishna is invoked. And actually many people, this is not like a regular Hindu temple also. In various Hindu temples, I went to a Hindu temple once and I said, so this deity, how do you treat it? He said, this is just a representation of God. This is not really God. And so this is a stark difference between our philosophies. We serve Krishna as a person. We serve Radha Govinda as a person. If it was just a representation of God, we understand Radha Govinda is there. Srila Prabhupada said, if you have any problems, come to the deity and say, my dear sir, I am having this problem, please help me. So we understand that Krishna, the deity, is coming in the form of a person. How do we? Then the letter will never get to my parents, right? It will never get to my parents. So same way, if we take shelter of the acharyas and take shelter of the authorized deity, then actually our Krishna accepts those. But if we make up something in our mental speculation, like that we have imagined it to be God, then actually God will never to take that. So this deity worship is actually very, very important. That's why Lord Chaitanya took initiation from the Madhva Sampradaya, because of their relationship with the deity form. So we have the great pleasure of serving Shri Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Shri Gauranitai, Shri Giriraj, Shri Shalagaram, and Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. So much so that they're actually Krishna here to have a loving relationship with you. Krishna doesn't have to come to New York City. He has his place in Vrindavan. And I remember Ramaroy Prabhu quoting this beautiful verse from the 7th canto, Archa Ashrita. Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. Yeah, this is 7:14:30. Yeah. This is talking about all different, the holy places where Krishna is eternally present. And whenever you get a time, you should go there, and whenever you practice your devotional service there, it's multiplied threefold or fourfold. So it's mentioning places like Pushkara, Kurukshetra, Gaya, Prayag, Dwaraka, Mathura, Bindu Sarovar, Narayan Ashram. Now here, listen to this. Where now there's a word that is given in this 7:14:30-33. Prabhupada is using the word Archa Ashrita. So if so Sachinanda Priya knows. I know he knows a little bit of Sanskrit. How would you translate the word Varanasi in the word-to-word? How would you translate the word Varanasi? Yeah, Varanasi, Prabhupada saying Varanasi. It's just referring to the place. Prayag. Well, let's say Pushkar. Now there's the word Archa Ashrita. And in the word-to-word, Srila Prabhupada putting this, I'm not saying that. Archa Ashrita, where the deity takes shelter. Archa Ashrita's word-to-word meaning is places where the deity of Radha Krishna is worshipped, such as big American cities like New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and European cities like London, Paris, and whatever their centers of Krishna consciousness. This is the direct word-to-word meaning of Archa Ashrita. So, this verse goes on to say, after it names all the places, it's saying, similarly, places outside India, where there are centers of the Krishna consciousness movement and where Radha Krishna deities are worshipped, must all be visited and worshipped by those who want to be spiritually advanced. One who intends to advance in spiritual life may visit all these places and perform ritualistic ceremonies to get results 1,000 times better than the result of the same activities performed in any other place. So, Prabhupada's saying you must visit this. So, cities like New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, European cities like Los Angeles, London, and Paris. And wherever there's centers of Krishna consciousness. And he's giving that little, like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's the word Sesha. And Prabhupada's translating the words, he's describing the different energies of Balaram. And he says Sesha, it says, yeah, whatever's left. So this is like a very Seychelles type statement, like, yeah, wherever there's Krishna conscious centers, you should go visit them. So we should go see. We should go and try to serve the deities there. Radha Govinda, Radha Murlidhar, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Natyabar in Columbus. And you can see that Krishna is being worshipped there, and he's coming to actually reciprocate with us. And every center of Krishna consciousness, because of the mercy of the deity, it is, as the verse is saying, it is 1,000 times more potent to practice your devotional service there. And what to speak of practicing devotional service in the month of Kartik, which is already 1,000 times, and then now we're practicing. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Wanted to show his the first question is about the praman of the statement that Dhruva Maharaj wanted to show his non-attachment or his non-enviousness of his brother Uttama, in terms of his we might say excessive reaction with the yakshas. Where does that analysis come from?
I believe this is, I can get the specific verse, but I'm thinking this is, I've done a lot of thinking about this because when I was growing up reading the Bhagavatam, I was very confused by this very specific pastime. Dhruva Maharaj is a pure devotee, and Srila Prabhupada is saying so many things like Arjuna showed anger, Hanuman showed anger, but that was directly for the service of the Lord. My question, I've been asking all the Bhagavatam speakers, how can Dhruva Maharaj show anger for for his own, like a physical the relationship, like a brother, it seems material. And then so we looked into the understandings of the acharyas and these things. So, and we got this this understanding, I think through the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, that this to show non-enviousness to his brother. And yeah, I believe this is in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary to this somewhere in this chapter. This is what I've heard. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go looking for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, actually, can I offer a comment about
Yes.
that? Dhruva Maharaj, his character, because you were talking about pure devotees,
Yeah.
worshipped in the temple by pure devotees. Obviously, we're here, we're worshipping the deity, offering kirtan. And I definitely know I'm not perfect. And so then I see Dhruva Maharaj, he's in the Bhagavatam, and it seems like he manifests that he's not perfect as well. And one thing I notice about his character is that he is actually very similar to Hiranyakashipu. But the difference between them is that he takes shelter of Lord Vishnu to fulfill his desire, whereas Hiranyakashipu has a similar kind of like it's kind of like an OCD type A personality, you know?
Yeah.
So he really kind of like overreacts to his father throwing him, in one sense, off his knee, and then he goes and overreacts to the yakshas as well.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got like a character arc, his character he plays. My second question was about the upamana, the analogy that you gave. So you were saying that in the Hindu temple they said, well, this is a representation of God. And then you gave an analogy of the post office box. So my question about that is that in the analogy that you gave, we put the letter into the post office box, the US Postal Service collects it and then delivers it to your parents in another town. But the thing is that the postal box and your parents are two distinct things. So I'm not sure if you said that the deity is Krishna himself, but the post box is not your parents. So the analogy seems to have some, either that part of it doesn't match and it's not meant to illustrate that, or it seems to be saying something like...
I believe because I heard this in a morning walk in Melbourne, Srila Prabhupada's giving this thing, the analogy is only expected to be extended up to the authorization of the post box. That the difference between an unauthorized box and an authorized box. Idol versus deity worship. I think that's the extent of the analogy.
Okay. So, okay, so you're using it to support your point about like not worshipping manufactured
Yes.
kind of representations of God.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other questions, comments, corrections, debates? Thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande.
Were you talking to me or somebody from Dr. You know, I did read about that thing about the idol.
Yeah.
And there's two interpretations of that I've read. One interpretation